I have severe asthma and it has been tormenting me. One morning, my breathing became very difficult. My mother drove me to the hospital. I became very weak and could not walk properly. My mother carried me into the hospital. The doctor injected me with something, I don't know exactly what it was. My body became relaxed and my breathing returned to normal. I felt very sleepy and the nurse wanted me to stay awake, but I drifted off to sleep. I later learned that I had stopped breathing. I'm not sure if my heart stopped. I felt like I entered a dream state that turned into a nightmare that I couldn't wake up from. There was a strange feeling that I was gazing at someone in the hospital bed whose face I could not see. The doctor was working around the hospital bed. I felt calm, without the pain I had felt before. I felt a little confused and I wanted to go home. The next thing I knew, I was in the gym at school. My classmates were playing soccer. I tried to get their attention and I shouted at them. But they didn't seem to notice me. This made me feel scared. I wandered around, not knowing how to get out. At some point I met the others and we were all in this dark space. I don't know what happened and why we are here. I noticed a light that was some distance away from me. I can't remember if I went through the tunnel and I came into the light. I felt a powerful love. I felt at home, and I was very relaxed here. The emotion was so strong that I didn't know how to express it. I wanted to go back into the darkness and bring others here as well. There is no concept of time here. Time does not exist. Here, things become clear and all questions are answered. My consciousness can go anywhere at a moment's notice. At a certain moment, I met someone. It felt like she was an angel, and I felt she was more like a counselor. She asked me to decide whether to stay or go back to Earth. I was told that if I decided to go back to Earth, I might not reach my full potential. A new beginning might be better. I was told that I would be very lonely in this life. I was shown what life would be like in the future. This would help me make a decision. But I'm not sure which path is the right one. I want to say, aren't there any other better options? I see these things through the screen, my career, where I will live in the future, including my family. It also showed me the difficulties I had in my life. My asthma was one of them, and I asked the angel some other questions to help me make my choice. Starting over would be a good option, but I'm also happy with my life now. I have a happy family and close friends who are very close. I asked her about my loneliness and wondered if I would ever meet someone I would love. Then I saw a man with long blonde hair. He wasn't exactly handsome, but he could give off a feeling of security. We were on a plane, going somewhere together. I looked at him, and some other people on the plane, looking out the window at the sun and the clouds. I didn't know who this man was. When I got back to the hospital, it felt like it was late at night. I had a tube in my throat and couldn't talk. I knew I had made my choice to go back to Earth and get on with my life. It took a few days before I left the hospital. I went home and a ray of sunlight came through the window. I was hopeful for the future and happy to be back here. I was full of enthusiasm for life. One of my classmates asked me in surprise, "What happened after you left?" He liked the old me better. I think I have become more serious. It was the first time anyone had suggested that I had changed, and the only time I could remember. Over the years, I've tried to talk to my family about the experience, and their reactions have taught me to keep quiet. I guess it's a crazy story after all. I think if I hadn't experienced it myself, I would have a hard time believing something like that. This is what I experienced.